Jake's back. Yeah, there you go. You're wasting your fucking time. And your son wants to kill you. Right, they got a history in that fucking family. Children making threats to kill their mother. That's who filed a charge that I was going to kidnap them because they saw something that they thought looked like them. Psychotic breaks, straitjackets, injections, weeks, McLean's hospital. Sorry, John. Too fucking bad. Your sister pulled you into it. And you came willingly. Oh yeah, watch out for that guy. Watch out for that guy. Fucking Game of Thrones. Cersei. Jamie. It's a shame. No one did anything wrong. You guys did nothing wrong, and I certainly did nothing wrong. But the dysfunction in that family is fucking obvious from a gajillion miles away. Sharon, I said it very early on in our relationship that I said, hey, I noted that you had an infantile attachment to your mother. You said, oh, I don't think that's going to serve us. It would have served us very well. It would have served me very well. This is ugly. This is ugly, right? But you told the world that I was you, and now I'm going to tell them who you are. Who that is. You told the world that I was you. So now I'm going to tell them, since you told the world that I was you, I'm going to show them that I am not, and I'm going to tell them who you are. Okay, is that fair? Do you want to inform me so that I can tell a more beautiful story? I'm right here, John Strimling. I'm right here. I'm not inviting you over to have a fisticuffs. Maybe we can get you healthy enough to eat something other than fucking boiled salmon. I'm not making fun of you because you have health issues. You have digestional issues because you don't deal with what you've had to swallow during your life. You were brought up in a fucking, with an unhinged fucking mother. I would have wanted to fucking kill her too. I don't fucking blame you. Not one fucking bit for that. Fuck, the moment that I wanted to fucking kill her. Arrogant bitch. You did no worse. You didn't. You did much worse to me. She judged me. I felt it. Phyllis, no wonder you never became president. It takes some nuts. You have to speak with certitude. Certitude. You know, you spoke with certitude when you told me that I spoke with certitude. You said you just spoke with such certitude. You did. You did. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Right? This is that shit. I just realized that. That's classic. That is classic. You know, it's like, what is it? The Department of Redundancy Department or something. I mean, it's hard. It's like, I know I am, but what are you? You're pretty certain that I spoke with certitude, weren't you? Jesus. Dean Randall's going, that's rich. That's rich. She's they got an award named after her at the Harvard School of Education. Harvard Yard, Cambridge, where they say we're a sanctuary city. And Harvard Yard says, don't pitch your tent here. You guys are all fucked up. Jeez, my goodness. My goodness. Isn't I... Go on. Jesus. That is so funny. That is so fucking funny. That is so fucking funny. Where's Barrett? Where is fucking Barrett when I need to laugh at him? Jeez, I'm gonna fucking choke. Excuse me. Oh, that's great. That is so good. Excuse me while Jakey goes pee-pee. Yep. Hey, pup. Hold on, let me do my business. You need to go outside. Door's open. Oh, she thinks it's funny too. Even Nolan's laughing. Sharon, even Nolan's laughing. Hold on now. She says, you don't need Barrett, I'll laugh with you. We could have Barrett too. She say, no, we need Barrett too. Hey, Pop. Hold on. We got to celebrate with like a ring ding or something. That was pretty funny. Then, Pee Wee. Yeah, and then we go for the ring ding. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. A couple of Dove chocolates. Okay, sweet pea. You getting excited about something, huh? Hey. Easy. Jakey's gonna be right back, folks. We're mulling that one over. Shit. Oh my God. Oh, Meter's just got to come up with a post for that. Alright. Pop, stop begging. Well. That was a really good purge. My God, I haven't. Yeah. I laugh like that with Barrett. I laugh like that with Zane. See how happy they are. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna put you outside. Come on. Come on. Every time I got one domesticated dog and one wild dog. Franklin likes it when I open the door for him. Maybe it's because now there's an independent woman. She will not. She goes out her dog door. I don't need a man to open my door. Mercy, see you good? That's just that's Mercy. Mercy does not need a man to open her door. But I will gladly open every door for her. And I intend to. And a whole bunch of hearts too. I'm going to get them flowing at full capacity. when I asked the grandmother, the ayahuasca, to open my heart. This is on my last ayahuasca journey, number 50, with the legendary maestro Hamilton Souther. He's so famous, he's infamous. Three amigos. I asked her to please, open my heart. I thought my heart was closed. And all she told me was, I'm going to put all the love in. I'm going to put all the love in. I said, okay. She said, no, I'm putting it all in. I was like, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, sure, absolutely. And then she says, no throwing up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why would I throw? For hours and hours, something was just pouring in it. Calling all trees. Deal with nausea. Oh, it was, and it hasn't stopped. That's when Mercy was supporting me earlier tonight with something. It was beautiful. Oh, she's calling me. Isn't this lovely? Hey. Hey there.
Hi, I'm eating cookies and
What's that?
I'm eating cookies in bed.
Oh, you are. I'm on this live stream right now, Mercy. Would you like me to say goodbye to everybody, or would you like to just hang out in the space with me?
Oh, I can do either way, whatever feels in alignment.
Well, let's just chit chat then. Yeah, wow. Cookies in bed, that sounds good.
Milano double chocolate cookies.
Oh my God, I like the Milanos. I like the Brussels too, right? Those are the Pepperidge Farms.
Yeah, Pepperidge Farms knows what they're doing with the cookie game,
They
right?
do. Yeah. I don't. You know what? Um, this is strange. This is interesting. I don't like mint chocolate. Like, so they got the Pepperidge Farm cookies with the mint chocolate.
I
I
don't know, but I know the Girl Scouts have them.
Yeah, I don't like mint chocolate, but I like peppermint patties. Isn't that funny? Right? I love peppermint patties, but like the Andes mint chocolates. Yeah, you're ruining.
I used to eat those Andes mint chocolates.
Did you?
When I had to stay at home while you
Oh
walk
my
around
God.
hearing everything.
I know why I don't. I just remembered why I don't like mint chocolate. Oh fuck. This is hilarious, Mercy. This is so funny. I just remembered this. Now I know why I don't like mint chocolate. When I was in 7th or 8th grade, we had I had French. I was taking French, Miss Pearson, and we had to do a fundraiser or something. I think they were taking us out to a French restaurant or something. We had to do a fundraiser, so we were selling chocolates. Those boxes of chocolates, and there's these mint chocolates. And they made the mistake of giving me all they're like, here, you got to go sell these 25 boxes of chocolates. and they give you the box of chocolates. Go out and sell them, right? So it didn't go take orders or anything like that.
Oh,
Yeah, so I ate like 22 boxes.
oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh shit. And so I didn't have any money for all the chocolates, and I didn't like mint chocolate anymore. And I just remembered that's why, yeah. Good thing it wasn't peppermint patties, though.
Yeah, I still they sold fudge by the pound in high school, and I sold like some record high amount. And then I realized that I had to deliver all the fudge by hand. It was like a couple hundred pounds of fudge, and
Oh my God.
I didn't know how to carry all that fudge. It's a lot.
Jeez, a couple hundred pounds. I
And I'd
love.
put it in my paper route bag and just deliver, like I don't know, 20 pounds at a time because I couldn't carry much more than that. I think I really did it.
I oh man, I love fudge. My brother used to make great fudge. My brother Alan made great. He's yeah. He used to the whole thing. He'd make really good uh, chocolate sauce for ice cream. He'd make it so like when you poured it on ice cream, it got like really hard. It was cool.
Ooh,
Yeah, it would like.
love that.
Hmm.
I love people who can make good chocolate sauces. It's a real gift.
Yep. Hey, Mercy,
Am I talking to you or am I talking to alive?
we're on a live. We're on a live. So we're just
Okay.
talking.
I'm
And
not
so what?
talking to
So
me.
let me just tell people the only difference. Mercy's asking specifically because she is very respectful of people's privacy, and she's a healer, and she has clients, and we talk about this because it helps everybody. And so we will talk about people she's working with, but we won't tell you who they are unless it's people in the field that are being ninnies. Like if it's just because Jake names names. So if you're just being a shithead, then we're gonna call you out. Say that hurt her, and I'm gonna. If you hurt Mercy, I'm gonna use your name.
Yeah.
If you hurt me or Mercy, I'm going to use your name. I'm gonna say that person hurt us, and I'm gonna explain it to you so you understand it. I'll explain it to you.
Funny, John. Listen, literally, one time I was at my campground in Michigan, and it's this private campground I'm a member of. And one of my friends came out there for a healing. He'd broken up with that serial girl,
Yeah.
and he came out there for a healing, and he was real sideways, and he pissed me off, and he hurt my feelings, and I did a healing on him anyways, but I was like, oh, you're being a real a-hole right now. And so I made a little comment on Facebook the next day. I just did this quick little video for basically saying, like, today's a new day for me. Anybody who talked shit to me yesterday or might have shit on me sideways, you're not my problem. Your problems aren't my problem. I'm letting you go. You might call yourself a friend, but you're not acting like a friend right now. And I just kind of like floated it out there, and they did a really peaceful meditation on the lake and ended with love and light. And James messaged me and he said, "Who hurt your feelings? I'll break their knees." He
Yes.
said, "Tell me who this person
Who?
is." I said, "Don't worry. The person has their own problem, but thank you for your love."
Yeah. Yeah.
You're so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you said something to that effect. That was one of those kind of Mob Street, scary London things that people say.
That's yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
So,
That's well,
Angels watching over me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I talked to my friend on the phone tonight, and I was telling her, that I've been having a tough couple of days, or the last 24 hours has been, kind of grueling on my nervous system. And she was saying, like, I said, so, someone's going to get on an airplane and go home because I'm done working on them and
Yeah.
tapping out that ring. I know when I've had enough, right? And she was saying something about, like, oh, but don't you need this and don't you need that? I said, no, I don't need anything. I've got protectors, I've got helpers, I've got guides.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, some tiny little human man with his fragile ego is not going to put a dent in my warrior team. I got the whole jungle medicine here. I got all the archangels here. I got rainbow beams, stone beams. And so there's a whole arsenal around me protecting me. Because when I was walking back from Nancy's farm, which is by Casa Inti,
Mm-hmm.
Nancy walked me to the front of the property line of Naturalia, I lost a retreat center.
Yeah.
She turned around and went back to her farm, and I walked the rest of the way back to Naturalia. It's a long road winding into the property, and there's a fork in the road. When you get to the fork of the road, you go right. But the fork of the road was what I thought was a fallen tree. When I looked closer, the tree was curly. When I looked closer, the tree had giant triangles on it. And I said, oh, this is the middle of the night. This is the rainforest. This is the jungle. This is the snake that they told me about. This big snake. If you see the snake, it's the last thing you see. So in my head, what did Paula tell me to do if I saw this snake? I'm standing there. It's dark. All I got is my torch in my hand. I put it down at the ground. I'm like, I'm not pointing at the snake anymore. Now in my head, I'm like, the snake already heard my footprints coming down this dirt road because it's a big snake and they feel everything through their stomach. So I was like, okay, there's 2 snakes she said could kill me. This is one. The other one's the one that jumps 20 feet at you. So one of them, you're supposed to, I think, run in a pattern, and the other one you're supposed to walk sideways. So I'm thinking, okay, this is the big, boa constrictor of the jungle. I think you're supposed to walk sideways, and don't, if you see its head, don't turn your back, because then you'll die. And also, if you see its head, it'll be the last thing you see. So I was like, okay. So I'm just going to start walking sideways very quietly to the right, away from it, where I think is the opposite direction of its head.
Yeah.
So I'm sidestepping. My heart is beating so hard, and I'm like, Mother Ayahuasca, if you can hear me, listen. You're a snake. This is a snake. Please don't let this snake feel the direction that I'm moving in. Please just safely move me off of its path and get me back to Paula. And amen. And so I'm like walking sideways. And I'm sweating a little bit. It's like 100 degrees, but that's okay. And I walk to where it looks like the end of the tail is, so I can't see because it's dark now because I don't have my torch pointing towards it. And so I just take off running as fast as I can. I ran so hard I almost threw up, and I run back to camp, and I go, Paula, the big snake is out there. She goes, oh my God, honey, I heard the dog's barking. I said, yeah, Paula, it's out there. It's in the fork of the road. And she goes, did you get a picture? No, Paula, I did not.
I didn't get one.
I tried to remember who told me to move, and she goes, oh, good job. And I said, yeah, I know, because I'm alive. She goes, we don't walk in the jungle at night alone. And I'm like, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
I'm like, thank you for my protectors, okay?
Oh,
like,
my
thank you for all those freaking angels that are like, girl, here you go again. Let's get you out of here.
Yeah, it's the jungle is real. but I try.
John, I'm more afraid of people than I am of those tarantulas.
Yeah.
People are more menacing than anything in the jungle. Everything in the jungle is just trying to survive.
I was just gonna say that snake really, like, yeah, you respected that snake. Sorry, you weren't afraid. It's like, oh, you. So let's look at that. You approach this, you recognize it's a snake, and now you want to respect its boundaries.
Yeah.
And different snakes have different boundaries. And so you're looking, is it this kind or is it this kind? It's this kind, and it wants me to move this way. Not so that it won't bite me, so that I am respectful of its boundaries and it's not biting you because you're respecting its boundaries. And I won't bite you if you fucking respect my boundaries. I say to the screen.
Amen, John. Amen. This
Right.
is a universal, applicable philosophy that applies to not just snakes, but humans and everything else under.
You know what? So no, it applies to all snakes, including those tuning in tonight. Yeah, it applies. So it's just very simple, right? Like, respect my boundaries. I get to be me. Mercy gets to be Mercy. You get to be you, and we're dying to see you.
In your bubble, keep your swords over there, keep your daggers over there, keep it all in your bubble.
Yeah, like if you're gonna be the fake you, then stay way over there. But if you're ready to give a shot at being real you, and we know you're gonna stub your toe a couple times, that's okay. Because you're trying this out and like being the real thing. So, but let it fly, man. Let it fly. Call me a fucking asshole. I'm not going to be offended. I'll say thank you for being direct and okay, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
I also know that you think I'm causing your dissonance, but I know how you feel now. Like, seriously, when my sister called me an asshole, I said, well, that was the most honest thing you've said to me my whole fucking life. It's like, well, that's all right. Cool.
You know, if someone called you an asshole, you could be like, yeah, I got one of those too.
That's
We
right.
all do.
That's
We've all
right.
got an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I should have told her. You know, that triggered my trauma of wiping my bottom when I was a little boy.
Yeah, yeah.
um. Oh my God. Uh, I realized something tonight, Mercy, and that was that everyone is looking, everyone that's in any relationship, but let's look at intimate relationships because those are the most fun. That's where the shit really happens.
Yeah.
You're in an intimate relationship, and like Sharon in specific with me, um, she felt uncomfortable, and she was looking to she look. We enter into a relationship. We all have needs. We
Yeah.
all have needs, and you know, one thing I know is true. The way the world works is life will always give you what you need plus a little more by when you need it. But so in relationship, we have needs. What Mercy, actually, better yet, let's not talk about Sharon. Me and you. You have needs. I have needs. We all have needs. And I do not. I have needs, Mercy. I do not expect you to fulfill my needs. I don't. Life's got that, and you're part of life, right? But I find myself always tuning into where are you, right? Like, hey, Mercy, how are you? What's going on? That's everything we talk about. Is here's my experience, here's your experience. It's all about orienting me to you, you to me, and when I think about that, when I'm orienting to you, how are you? I'm inquiring as to what are your needs, Mercy. Right? That's when you call me, you are always either asking me what are your needs, or you're saying these are my needs. Like you're saying, here's what's going on with me. And so I'm hearing that. That doesn't mean that, you know, if you say, you know, one of my needs is a Coca-Cola, I have to every time run out and get the Coca-Cola, right? But you're informing me, and we say now we're like in this together. But that's when we enter into relationship with that, opening our heart, and so that you can inform me of what your needs are. Not tell me go fill my needs, but these are my needs. And we just, you know, we're open. Like, I'm curious as to your needs. I am not asking you to fulfill mine. It's just turned around. It is fundamentally turned around. And when I open myself and I'm curious about what's Mercy's experience, that's when what are your needs is what is your experience. Now the love starts flowing from my heart to now it's flowing that way. And the fundamental was with my first dog as an adult. I fell in love with that dog because I cared for it. I tuned into she was in pain after surgery. It's like, what does she need? Does she need pain medication? I tuned into her. Oh no, she just needs me to sleep on the floor with her, right?
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I am so flipping in love with this dog. She's not, you know, I haven't asked her to fulfill my needs. It's got nothing to do with that. You know, and it's this thing. It's like it's when I open myself to what do you need, something starts flowing out of me, and I realized that it actually starts to flow into me and out of me. So all of these people, when we are trapped in having our needs fulfilled by an other, we only have a quantum bit of love in our hearts. It's not flowing. You've got a quantum bit, enough to keep you alive. The typical person, enough to keep them alive. Um, until you can approach you in any relationship from the perspective of I am open to what I'm here for is to to know your experience. Because if I know your experience, Mercy, now we're not going to keep bumping into each other. Like if we're a flock of starlings, now we're sending each other information, coordinates, and hey, I'm like, this is my intention. This is what's important to me. Now I know Now I don't have to watch you out of the corner of my eye. See, when's Mercy gonna like do the pirouette or the next step? I'm in flow with you, right? It just happens now. Now we're in flow. If we're informed, we're in flow, and it just and the love is what when you're in flow, you're in. That's that thing. You're in love now. You're in the love. You know, the love is flowing. But yeah, it's just a fundamental. It won't work the other way. You're trying. You again. This you're swimming upstream. You know, it's all.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think part of what it means to show up for another human being is to meet them where they're at with compassion and just witness whatever they're in and be a presence. And I mean, some people are going to lose or power over or give, and so that's all transactional. It's all conditional. When you love someone unconditionally, it transcends pretty much space and time because it just flows through you. I wrote somewhere on my prayer board, God, let me see them through your eyes. Let me speak through your words. Let them see me through your eyes. Let them speak through your words. Like I was saying that if I'm going to have a relationship with any human being, that I want God to flow through it because that's where, like, I think of unconditional love and what that actually like embodies.
Yeah. Wow. You know. Mercy, I'm laughing. So I wish we, yes, people should listen to that, right? And hear what Mercy was just saying, what she's looking for in all relationship. Man, thank you, Mercy, for setting that standard, that bar, setting that bar up there, right? Most people don't dare to wish for that. They don't even know that's available. You know, like that's like a full human and spiritual relationship.
Human mind and our little conditioned lens and our cultural lens and our all of these collective consciousness lenses, and it's like, hey, if I'm like a jeweler and I can put a little loop in front of my eye to really look at the facets of something, I want God's loop in front of my eye because I want as much truth and beauty as I can possibly fathom.
You know what?
In the creature.
Yeah, same. That's why Hamilton liked to wait to the third ceremony and the fourth ceremony week to call on God. I like called on God like before I got on the plane. It's like, let's bring God in right now. Again, I gotta get myself to South America.
Yeah, it's interesting how some people are afraid of the concept of God.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
there's so much conditioning all around that word and name and the whole idea of it.
Maybe we can, because you can use that. It's a powerful word, and it's a beautiful word.
Oh, how about goodness on demand, God?
Goodness on demand. I love that. God likes that. God's like, yeah, I'm down with that. That's me. That's me. I had a really beautiful
goodness over darkness.
Goodness over darkness. Nah, we're not over the darkness. We love the darkness. We love the darkness. Yeah. Mercy, when I was doing my deep in my meditation training, I had this beautiful experience. What were we? Well, the type of meditation we were doing, what you actually, the way I did it intentionally, you're basically using your darkness to propel you, right?
Okay.
So you're calling up. What I would do is I'd be trying to tune into your emotional field. So I would call up a gnarly story, get the emotions flowing, and then tune into that. And so I'm getting really curious about all of it. I'm meditating, but I'm doing a Buddhist meditation, but I'm also contemplating God at the same time. And what's it like to be God? And what was that first yawn like? Oh, the Om, and this whole thing. I'm just like, we'd done like Jesus but I was like, let's get right there with God.
I want to know recall from ceremonies what I've seen. Like I saw the Big Bang, and I seen universes expand and collapse and create like infinity looping on its own.
Yeah.
And so when I saw God as a singular, I saw the big him or her, it, they, he, whatever people want to call God, wanting to experience duality or more than the oneness, more than the all. And so it was like, how do I create the allness? And it was like this huge ball of like energy and light, and it just burst out like a fire flame, and all these little sparks flew out of it. And I guess some people call it the Big Bang, but I saw all these little sparks flying out and creating the cosmos and planets and people and planets and biodiversity. And I was like, wow, this is amazing, guys. What an expression you are in this expanded, scoped out state. And then I saw a little spark that fell inside of my heart. That was my soul. And I was like, oh, I'm a little tiny piece of God. This is great.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, you know, I listen to the beautiful poetry and imagery as you describe your direct experience of it, and I'm like following along, and I'm seeing the different scenes that like, yeah, this is my version, and I do it that way, and I'm also seeing the science, like I literally seeing the the physics of the whole thing. Um,
Yeah, it's just like these quantos in these fields, and then like science is like, oh, this isn't real. And I'm like, you silly scientists with your tiny little human tools. Like,
yeah,
what did you measure? Come on.
yeah.
You know?
So I was so I'm doing this meditation practice, and so I'm really getting I'm really tuning into just the concept of suffering, and I'm tuning into like what was God up to, like what happened, like what caused that big fucking shower of sparks that we saw, right, that you saw, and and I'm tuning into, I'm coming more and more into what's up with the whole, right? It's not just me, what's in the whole, and I'm like, I feel like I feel the entirety of the world suffering, right? And so I'm like holding that. Mercy, I went deeper and deeper and deeper, and you know what I realized? God was suffering. God was suffering. And that's what caused him to shatter. He could not bear this sense of solitude. And it was the same thing happened to him that I experienced. He was alone in the cosmos, right? And is there anyone else, like me? Can anyone understand me, right? And then at his most desperate moment, he paused and he realized there was this presence. Ooh, wait a minute, there's something else, right? That's the initial split, right? Because that's how life unfolds. It goes from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8.
Itself, like consciousness is awareness, is spirit, is
That's right. It's all the same thing. That's right. It is. Yeah, and back just before they had me hospitalized, I've got a whole series of codices. I constructed all of the geometries. Like I built it. I cut circles and was doing folding shit and everything. And it's like, oh, this was the first, because it wasn't really a split. It's a point. It's a fold and a fold and a fold.
Yes, I started working with the platonic solids after.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I've got all those too. I made all those little. Yeah.
I had a whole little set made out of different stones, and I would take them and
we did the same thing. I had these. I've got the book still. A Beginner's Guide to Constructing the Universe. Okay. Yeah, it was cool, and it's a whole study on the shapes and solids and all of their properties. Like what did it mean to the ancient Greeks? And this number, it's about the numbers and to say like a number is quantity. I mean, fucking number is magic. It's like you can. Yeah,
I had this whole vision of numbers. There was nothing but numbers on a planet, and it was showing me the numbers were like fighting with each other, and like 8 was a distortion of another number. Like,
oh my God.
Like distortions of each other. It was just weird stuff, and I was like, whoa, math ceremony. Who knew that was going to happen?
Man, the metaphysical properties of numbers is like just astounding. That it's symbology. Numbers it's not math. It's symbology. And it's everything is, but everything like alphabet is symbology, Greek alphabet's another symbology, and they all work but in some of them it's like, oh, that's a really cool one. And I find numbers as symbol to be wicked powerful, right? Oh, 1111, right? Oh, I felt this pulse, and look, it's 111. Yeah, that's mercy. I mean, it's super powerful.
Numbers seem very abstract to me, which is interesting because the abstract seems so concrete.
The abstract seems, yeah.
Very, very different in my mind than it is on paper when I look at books and things.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, I think in a way my dyslexia was a gift, It took all the things that were in order and rearranged them and put them in different patterns.
Interesting. My oldest is dyslexic. He did really well. We got him support. Kerry really pushed hard on that. I probably would have missed it, but yeah, that's interesting. I'm reflecting on watching that. I learned a lot watching him develop as a dyslexic, and I learned a lot about how I'm recognizing it now that experience informed me a lot on how different brains work. Just watching him, and so now I say, oh, that's how that works, and I think that's how it's easier to understand you. Yeah, it seems very natural.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how the brain it scopes in and out. Like dyslexic brain reads a whole and then breaks it down into segments from the outer corners inwards, whereas the linear brain reads from left to right and breaks things into lines.
Mm-hmm.
I read a book once on learning disabilities. Well, I didn't read it because I'm dyslexic, but I listened to it on audiobook.
Good for you.
And it talked about the superpower of these learning disabilities. And
oh, yeah.
And I was really like, oh, thank you for helping me reframe that. I just thought in my head, when I read something, it looks like it's in a mirror and flipped upside down. Everything was all, topsy-turvy and out of order.
Yeah. It's what it reveals is that every being every being is equal. So if you have a kid that has some whatever that what is that one, the autism, you don't just say, okay, they're that, and they are disabled, not able to do these things within your limited construct. And so then you do your best to train them towards that construct in some way, shape, or form. You're not looking to say, well, if they're equal to someone that can fit into that construct, what is it that they have? They're giving up on them. Say, well, make them as good as they can be in this limited construct. Right? I mean, it's horrible. And then we deny when they start to show these gifts, and their mothers and fathers and teachers are saying they're revealing these gifts. Then they make a big shitstorm. Like, no, they're not. No, you're helping them type. No, you're helping them. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. What they're doing to these parents, it's oh my God, they're suffering so much already, and there's something and they don't want to acknowledge that. Yeah, wow, okay, they're not as fucked up as we thought they were. Right? Because what we find is not only are they not as fucked up, they're far more brilliant than you are. Because they can do stuff that not only you can't do, you can't even understand it. Right? Nala, come. Let's not give Rui any reasons. Come on, you want to rile him up, don't you? Come on, sweetie. Oh my God, Mercy. Every time you and I get together and just start rolling with this stuff. I am not sitting here saying, oh my God, this is going to make for a great thing. I am astounded. I don't care if it was what I am learning about in the crystallization, the clarity of, yeah, this is what is happening. This is the issue in human behavior. And also sometimes it's so easy, like you look at it and you say it's so obvious, but how can you kind of put it so other people see it? They're going to have a hard time saying, yes, it's true, but it's going to be impossible for them to say no. Because it's not theory, it's like, it's rock solid logic. Right? You insist that I be rational, like I'm a super creative, intuitive being, and I can't get you to pay any attention to me, like I have superpowers, and you're denying them. So now I'm going to give you, and because you only like the math, well, now I'm going to fucking prove it to you with math, logic, very simple logic, and your head is going to explode as you try to deny it. I'm going to tell you 1 + 1 is 2, and you're going to say, no, it isn't. We're going to see it. We are going to see it. And some people are going to say, oh my God, they're right. Holy shit. Wow, I didn't realize that. And people, we didn't figure this out. Someone showed it to us and said, you guys talk about this, and here, oh, there it is. Now we all see it. Or you can deny it. But here it is. Right?
Well, I know also people, in the reticular activating system of the mind, people only see what they believe to be possible, and our reality oscillates at a rate faster than our senses can process, so we just filter little bits of information into our fields.
And that, and Mercy says, I love the way you said it, reality is moving faster than we can process it. That's trauma. That is trauma. Your system is overwhelmed. You deal with what you can deal with, and the other 96% goes into the amygdala, goes into the lizard brain for you to deal with now. Right? Now it's the time that's what we're doing. What's that?
I'm gonna give that lizard brain a hug. Poor lizard.
Yeah, oh my God, that poor lizard.
He's like this lizard that's like, I'm stressed out. I hear you, lizard.
At one ceremony, I remember distinctly, I asked ayahuasca to relieve the tension in my in the amygdala, the lizard brain, and before I knew it, I was an iguana, or something, like in the desert, and I'm the iguana, and his best. I was a packet of, I was dinner, like a tense piece of dinner, with like vision everywhere, and it's like I'm ready to just be eaten, like pure fear. Those lizards are just pure fear. They run on pure fire. It's like wham.
Well, I wrote a rock opera one time about lizards at an all-inclusive Mexican restaurant.
Huh.
There was a resort in Mexico that fell in love. One was like the stage iguana that everybody took pictures with. Another one was the iguana that worked in the kitchen.
They fell in love?
They fell in love.
Oh my God.
Disney Pixar thing. I was in Mexico, and I needed something to do with my free time, so they were playing a lot of opera at this inclusive hotel that I was staying at. So I wrote out a report of how the iguanas feel at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do that for people's little amygdala, lizard brains, just write them some kind of love story.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's it's so funny.
Oh, there's also such a thing as like lizard people. They have like lizard energy, but not the good kind.
Yeah, I wonder what lizards.
Yeah.
I can identify. The reptile. It's funny. I never liked snakes. I love them now. I say I'm a bit squeamish. Snakes that bite, man. I'm not into puncture wounds. I would say, yeah. They do. Yeah, I enjoyed communing with what was that snake's name? Anita. They had the that massive what was it? Was it a anaconda just downstream of Heliconia, and you could go. It was like 30 feet long or something. Huge, huge snake. But man, when I held it, oh my god! And everything is rippling. And I do have the I've got the Ouroboros tattoo on my shoulder. That's and so, and I'm down with the serpent, you know, and the whole feathered serpent, and that reptile in cold blooded. Mercy, I feel more cold blooded than warm blooded, you know. Right? It's so, but so yeah, so that and that's in there. That's all in there, right? So yeah, let's get down with Mercy. When we're no longer trapped in the PFC and the prefrontal cortex, everything the amygdala is the center. It's instant action. It all goes everything goes into the amygdala. That's the control center. And now you become like the falcon that's flying, and when it sees its prey, it goes into the dive. That's an automatic function. There is zero time lapse from that's prey and I'm diving. The that's prey and diving is the same thing. It's like me seeing fear and mercy at the same time. It's just like boom, and that is perfect. That is living in flow, and it feels like super instant, like you move. But no, it's super relaxing. But if it's gonna be there next, it's there next. It's just like I get when I'm playing the guitar when my arm goes into a state that I'm that levity, like it's floating. My arm, and I'm not holding it up. Yes, and it's it now. When I was drumming, I would have my upper arm kind of anchored on my against my side, and it's more like it was wrist. And so I was used to like just everything from the wrist through the fingertips, just floating. Tonight, this was a really wild sensation. It was everything from the shoulder to the fingertips. My entire arm was floating, and anywhere if you held your arm up for a while, after a while, it gets tired, right? We call that tired. This spot here starts to ache. When that spot, quote unquote, started to ache because it was quote unquote tired, the system saw through that immediately and said, you have an energy block there. We're going to clear that. The arm just floats. That is not tired. There is no tired. Energy is endless. It is always there. Tired is dissonance. You have an energy blockage. And so that's like the perfected state, right? Everything it's you're in a field of energy. There's no such thing as tired. Right? Now you might go deep rest. Right? Doesn't mean you don't have sleep. Doesn't mean you don't have sleep. You still visit all states of consciousness. Right? But imagine that
I thought everybody was awake when they were asleep. I didn't know. I everybody just like told her.
well,
Like, no.
that's funny.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Here's another perfect example about how we are exactly alike and exactly opposite. Because you thought everyone was awake when they were asleep, and I thought everyone was awake when they were awake. And it turns out they're not awake any of it. They're always sleeping. That was as I look back on my journey. I keep being able to go back further and further and further in terms of when was I holding my awareness of self through what stages of sleep, right? So like you're saying, right, and so it was quite a while ago, but here's the thing, people don't describe it very well, and they're afraid to say this idea in Buddhist practice that you have attained some state of consciousness. Like that's
Yeah.
taboo. You don't say that. I am enlightened. Mercy, I'm like fucking enlightened was like fucking way in the rearview mirror for you and I, and probably a lot of other people. That enlightenment is not a big deal.
I don't use the word enlightened per se, but I just say I could say I'm awake or have been awakened, or my consciousness, my awareness is awakened. So I just think that I see some people and I can tell they're sleeping inside, like their God light is not to
Yeah.
them, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're just still asleep.
Y-
So this person I've been working on, they don't have that light in there because they're still asleep, and I'm like, well, I tried to wake them up, but that's going to happen in whatever time it needs to happen. It's
Yeah.
not something I have to do on my watch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I love it when people do wake up, and I'm like, I love to see their shiny, smiley, happy faces, and then look up and be like, oh
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'm like, I know,
Yeah.
right? It's so cool, and they're like filled with bliss, and I'm like, yes, lock this feeling into your body, keep it forever.
I asked Spirit today. I said I would like to be able to, when my hands are feeling like electricity, I would like to be able to lay my hands on somebody and take them somewhere special. Come,
Okay.
right? And I know that mystics have done that, right? It's Mickey. I think actually Mickey Singer, who's fairly a modern guy, um, relays an experience of that. But you know what, Mercy? This idea of enlightenment, because they say, Lincoln was enlightened, and certainly he was, and our, many of our forefathers were Adams and Jefferson, Franklin for sure. I don't know, maybe Adams was, no, Adams, I'm not sure. But if someone were to say to me, technically speaking, how would you explain, or what is an enlightened mind? It has a capacity of what? I would say that if you are able to look at what we call disorder or chaos
Yeah.
and see that that is simply pattern, and you understand that pattern, and it all makes sense, and therefore everything in this cosmos, from a sense of it, does it all hold together as one thing? The answer is absolutely, it's part of me. Then okay, now that is an enlightened mind witnesses all of this in that way, right? So your mind looks at the jungle and does not freak out. You don't see disorder. You don't. You see order. You see pattern in that, but you don't see.
Yeah.
You know where I came to. I look at the forest now, and I see the order. I see triangles everywhere. Everywhere you have three
Yeah.
trees, there's a triangle. It's all collections of triangles. You
Yeah.
know, but we get freaked out. Here's our limited thinking. We get freaked out when we see a square in which all four sides are not the same length. Someone says, no, 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 no. The definition of a square is that the four sides have to be equal. I say that's a definition of a square in fixed form reality. When I give those sides each their own sovereignty, they can be whatever fucking length they want. And still, the four of them say, we are square. You don't get to deny them that. Right? And so now it's fucking freeform Friday. And you say, well, that's going to be a shit show. So no, it's imbued with this intelligence that they all coordinate around a common intention. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah,
they
and the
say
whole
that
thing.
if you look at an atom, the electrons and the components, it's not even solid. They're not even there.
No, it's no, not. Yeah, it's not even. It's not solid. 99. It's all just space, and there is no separation between me and the stool that's here. Like if you go closer and look at it with a microscope, it's just different densities of the
It's
same
all just
thing.
vibrating densities. Yeah,
So
and that's why remote healing works, because it's all big, it's all
so
everywhere, it's all
so
connected.
so Mercy. So this is like the shit I want to put in front of like these PhD scientists. And there's no
Illuminated scientists, they're not very open-minded.
no, I know it, but we're gonna be able to make it obvious to the average person, and we're gonna say one of these guys is gonna catch up. We have proven that there's no difference between me and what's between the stool and the stool. Why are we hung up on whether or not this is all one fucking thing? That says it's all one thing, right?
That's experiments, like when Taggart and such experiments, they show like Einstein's spooky action at distance, quantum entanglement, all this stuff. It's there. It's just a newer form of science that
Here's
is not really taught in schools. Like even medical schools, they're teaching like Newtonian physics. They're not teaching quantum physics as their basis of their scientific understanding. It's just
you know
antiquated systems.
Mercy. Einstein himself said he was only scratching the surface in his own understanding of his own theory.
I know.
Right?
Everyone
So
else forgot the math.
you want to know where what he missed, and what it is not a complex theory at all. He was just trying to express it mathematically, and to express it mathematically is super flipping complex. But what the theory, the answer is in the name, not the equation. E equals mc squared. Take that off the table. That's yes. Light is constraining us, and it no longer will. Right? The speed of light will no longer constrain us, because we're going to learn that we're in a multidimensional reality, right? And everything is relative. The theory of relativity. Everything is relative to the perspective through which it is viewed. Period.
Yeah.
Assume that is true. Albert said it. Now, what are the implications of that very basic assumption? Right? First off, we can all stop fighting, because yes, that's exactly what it looks like from where you are. you know. Um, but you have to allow that it's the.
Me, I say thank you for sharing your perspective and your opinion.
That's right.
Like that's a fact. I'm like, well, it's a fact to you, and thank you for sharing your opinion.
Oh man, we got some good burps going. Oh my god.
Yeah, the scientist person would hit me with all these facts, and they'd say, hey, and they'd say, I'm the doctor, and they'd say, remember, buddy, you guys used to think the earth was flat, okay?
This is
And you threw what's his name in jail for saying it wasn't. So you guys think a lot of things. So
you know so this is going to be interesting, because this is unfolding. We're not talking about like John and Mercy aren't saying like we're going to do this, make the world do this. This is where the world is moving. And so it's going to be interesting to observe, because I know that those who are most invested in scientific method are going to resist this, but they're going to be undone, because it's going to be undone with their own method, and we're going to show that their scientific method is not scientific, because it defies fundamental assumptions of the science that they're using. Like statistics, a fundamentalist statistics. This is what I studied in one of my master's degrees. Fundamental is that you cannot use it to prove cause and effect. Yet we use statistics to prove that medicines work and vaccines and everything. And but a fundamental is no, because
statistically speaking, I didn't
yeah,
say that, and I'm going to push my glasses up on my nose before I say something.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
So happy.
Oh my God. This is actually, and so you know, I like to as I come to understand, like, where do I fit within everything that's unfolding, and what is it that you and I are doing, and I feel like, what are we doing? Look, guys, this is going to be really this. Some of you are going to feel unsettled and wondering what's going on.
Parking lot physics, like we're popping the trunk in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Physics is falling out of it. You know, like the guy walks up and he opens his coat and he's got all these like little tickets for sale.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, hey, we're in the midst of some really big change, and if you're uncomfortable, we think we have something that can make you less so, right? Like, and if it doesn't, if you don't think so, then stay away.
It's entertain and confuse you. I mean, it's definitely some way to pass time for sure.
Yeah,
At least
it's a way to pass time.
lives the spirit and God, you know.
Yeah. Well, I love the conversations that we have, and just actually what flows through me, because it is equal. It's spirit. It's God. And when we say spirit, God, like, and I'll talk about certain lineages. Like, okay, Christ runs strong in me. And I love Muhammad, right? My Islamic brothers, you want to come in, please? Fucking tell me more about the richness of Islam. Bring it. I love it, right? Judaism, get stuff the fucking authentic though, right? But yet, but I want all of it because it adds to the richness. Because my own models in symbology, if I knew more about Muhammad and his like, in all of his like, who's his Fab Five, right? Like I don't know all of that yet because
You don't know that much either. There's the Next Level Soul podcast. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's really good and interesting. And I think he interviews different channels, different
mm-hmm.
people, spiritual stuff. And I think he's probably got some good interviews. I'll have to look that up.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff it's called Next Level, and it is Next Level. You're like, wow.
Oh, Mercy, shit. I don't think I told you. I stirred up a hornet's nest today. I haven't seen anything, but I certainly did. I lobbed a stink bomb. Yeah, I let a couple of friends from the previous spiritual community who had really stuck it to me good, really, really good. Like, oh my God, she gives Sharon a run for her money. Shay literally, yeah, she has her wake is littered with shattered men. And she blames every one of them. And I had a taste of her medicine. I did not go for that. No, can do. No, we were exploring. Shay and I were in this beautiful relationship. We're really, and I love her dearly, and I look forward to when we're better, when we can be closer, in whatever at some point. But you know what? So yeah. So well, Mercy. No. Well, I see. I didn't. No. Well, when she's all cleaned up, when they've got her all cleaned up and washed and hosed off and all that, and she's all pristine and the perfected self, then I would love to see that version of Shay. This version, though, oh my goodness, Mercy actually. So I won't go into the long story, but it was like totally twisted. She was supposed to keep Sharon calm when John got all mystical, because Shay could hold my mysticism for a time, right? So I introduced Shay and Sharon, and I told Sharon knew very well I had this spiritual relationship with my dear friend Shay, and we were practicing these things, and it was like a rising in love. Like we were sharing things and we were playing off of each other as we looked at our shadows and stuff. Like she was all about diving for the shadows. And so we were having this experience, and I said, if Sharon should start getting worried that when I go into my deep medicine periods, maybe she could call you and you could say, hey, no, I'm in work. He's good. I know it scares you, but he's good. That's what that was set up for, right? But when Shay looked at me, because I had refused her advances, that was a piece of it. We tried during it when Sharon and I were taking time from each other at one point, just before the shitstorm hit out from that deal a couple of years ago. Shay and I had planned a week together to say, well, let's see if there was anything else there on this physical plane. And it got so far as half of a kiss, literally, half of a kiss, and she like pulled away and said, "Wait a minute." It wasn't that I had kissed her, but it was the way I was kissing her. And suddenly she is projecting all of the shit on me. And I'm like, look, we both brought shit into this. Like, I felt my teenage self there. Like, I owned that. I was very aware of where I was and curious about what was coming up and why this and what's going on. And suddenly she's pulling away and, like, saying that this interaction was not satisfactory to her. And there was something about what I was doing. And she proceeded to fucking pull this Gemini and mind fuck on me, for like the next 3 days, and we're doing ceremony like psilocybin, and she is absolutely pummeling me with her suffering, and in a very conniving, contemptuous way. Oh my God! And I'm not re-experiencing. I'm stepping through it calmly right now. Not a deal. But so I feel even better about what she has in store for her. Because wow, Shay, that was unreal. The shit that you gave me that weekend. Your shit. Wow. she Yeah, and so then
I
when
just hear a voice of spirit saying, "Step off the firing range."
step off the firing range. So I had told Shay, I said, look, and she knows, like I think we've said, like I'm not a violent person, but um, like I won't punch you in the mouth. I will not do that, but I will spill your guts. I will eviscerate you with my words. I said I am like when it's go time. I won't. I will not make it personal. I will not personalize it, right? But you're gonna feel it. Like I will melt you. And so she said to me, just like me saying to you, um, Mercy, man, I love this image of the unhinged Kali pouring through. I fucking love that image because it's so real. And it's like when I think, could I imagine? Yeah, I could imagine that. And it's like, fuck, yeah, totally cool with that. So Shay said at one point that she wanted to experience that intensity from me. She said maybe we could like sometimes set something up, and I said no, Shay, it does not work like that. It's intense because it's fucking real. It's real. She's like, oh, I want to experience that. So she got a thimble full of it 2 years ago, and she's about to get the real fucking McCoy. And I don't know what's out there. It's just out there. It's because it's had to be vented.
Why is she coming up for you right now?
Um, she's coming up right now because God is laying siege to my former teacher's castle to release the trapped souls he has there, and because my former teacher needs to see for himself that he needs to get some healing. His family is in danger, right? So this is like we don't have. It's like, guys, God is saying, guys, we'd like to go more slowly, but it's like it's time. We're here, so now it's time, and um, they're gonna see it, right? So it just kind of flowed out of me today, and I'm like, oh boy, see what happens. Um, Mercy,
Well, as your friend, I'm standing on the side with the fire extinguisher.
yes, please,
Holler if you
yeah.
need me, okay?
This and in Mercy. So I guess the image would be, um, I went out and seriously, like this has been literally been unfolding for a few years, especially with this one. The monster came, and I went out with my spear, and I stood defiantly. I said, "Hey, out of here," and he left. And then he came back, and I had to poke him before he left, right? And now he's bringing friends and everything, and it's like, okay, you know, and it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, we're bringing out the heavy artillery because you guys got to get the fuck away from here. you know? But so it really is. It's just one of these things because my being feels like the attack continues. That is as long as it sits there. Um, and it's a self attack. You know what it is? It's a self attack, and so it's like it's got to get it out there.
Can I invite the little boy in your heart to just like step away from that container and go somewhere safe in a tree
You know,
and not be in this battle of making people see? And can we just put him somewhere like really safe right now so that he can be maybe in a state of tranquility and peace and rest? Like he's a kid,
yeah,
I just want to let him know he doesn't have to
Mercy, so I just want to say something I noticed. This little boy, he needs both this fiery Jake to know that like someone is standing up for him and defending him, but he also needs the tender, soothing. Thank you. He was emotionally starved. Mercy, your voice is so incredibly soothing. Oh my God. God, that feels so incredibly good. Wow. Mercy, that's unbelievable. That feels, man, oh man. Right? Yeah. And so, like, here I am coming out, like, and you could, but, like, this is really practical. Like, I mean, that was an unbelievable experience. Like, I cannot tell you how good it felt to have that soothing voice and to not feel any degree of discomfort and completely receiving it. How does she see me? What does she think of me? I mean, I hope people could hear that fucking voice. I mean, that is just, that's it. That's the, like, mother archetype. That is it. That's the healing. That's, yeah. Yeah, it is never too late. It's not like you don't go like, oh boy, I wish I had this a lot sooner. you know, right? It's not like you get the great antidepressant. You say, I wish I got it a lot sooner. This is like, no, all of that just goes away. It's like, it just goes away. It's just like, um, you, like, look, like that's like another piece. And it's like, man, it's like a part of you that you don't even realize can be soothed. And we can become more and more deeply soothed. And this is like, I know so many people see the huge personality, and yeah, like this is the gentling. Like, oh my God, yeah. I hope people are saying I'll have what he's having. Right? I mean, if I don't look like Meg Ryan in that movie, what the fuck? Yeah. No, what you know?
do X, Y, and Z for a minute, I'll say to my inner child, I'll look at the seat, the empty seat in the car, in the front seat, and I'm like, listen, little me, I'm gonna leave you out here in the car. You don't gotta go into this house. You don't gotta deal with these people. You don't gotta
Mm-hmm.
you don't gotta fight this battle. I'm gonna leave you out here. Here's a couple angels. You guys hang out here, go play in the yard, play some sticks, whatever you want to do. But you're not gonna go fight this battle. I'm gonna leave you out here. I'm gonna go handle this for you. And so I gotta let little me know that she doesn't have to do certain things that big me has to do. Right?
Yeah, that's, oh my God.
Be a kid.
This is yeah, beautifully said, and I'm just watching it. This is just what I see as all in amidst all the beauties. Not, I'm not distracted by this and looking at that instead of this, but it's just the, like, first off, spot on. Like, that's exactly a beautiful way of managing that kind of challenge in your life, dissonance in your life. But the way you say it, Mercy, you know, about in terms of like, can we make room for other perspectives on things? You wove in your story like 8 different lineages. Like I heard angels. I heard reference to parts theory, like cutting edge of psychology. You know, we have, it's just they all weave together, and they have these, and suddenly it's like they're just different aspects of yourself. Like, what are you talking about angels? Well, that's a part of you that's, you know, identifies with this, and you shift into that. That's in you. You have that. It's cool. You bring it to life in you though, right, Mercy? Like, where does that come from? It's like you feel it and you say, I'm going to call it that. Oh, that's angel, that feeling, and that lets me do this. We'll call it, that's the angels, you know. And Mercy sees them though.
Oh, I do. Sometimes I am one.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
don't have wings, but they'll show the fuck up. They'll show up the bird. They'll show up the rainbow. They'll show up in all kinds of stuff.
Well, I see the wings. You know, some people can still remember from Polar Express. Some people can still hear the bell ringing. I was, you know.
A couple people have said they've seen my wings, and I'm always flattered how my things suck.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I see. I can see them now.
Oh my God, funny story. Funny story. One time, when we were in the Pickle Valley, Heather said, I saw Mercy's wings, and Paige said, yeah, I know, I gave her those. And I was like, actually, those are from God, but thank you.
I gave her those. No, those were from God. I gave her those. You know what? What was that? What do you? He's like handing out pilot wings. It's like they give to the little kids on the airline from Delta. You know, here's your wings. Jesus. He's like, but